What exactly do you look for when hiring a nail professional for your salon, whether it's one other person, 3 people, if you want to grow it large? We're going to talk about all of that right now on Biz Talk. I think just track record, for the most part, hiring has been okay, except for one specific employee that I've hired.
Vic is sitting right there. She's right there. It's so rude.
That's terrible. I was talking about you, Tracey.
I know that. And I agree.
As a matter of fact, you're going to quit again.
Yes, yeah.
For the 80th time.
80th time this week.
Yeah,
and it's Monday.
That was funny. That was actually funny. Okay. This is a very interesting topic, hiring. I like talking about this. It's because it's challenging. This is an area of any business, whether you're in a salon or not, that can be very difficult. But let's start, let's go sort of micro into the nail business itself. And then we can kind of look, generally speaking, when hiring, what to look for. What should somebody look for, Trace? Actually, let's do this. What did you look for? I know I just changed it up like 80 times. What did you look for when you had your salon and you were hiring? What exactly were you looking for in bringing on nail professionals? And then what mistakes did you make? What did you learn? Because this is a good one.
It is. So when I opened my salon initially, basically I just invited everybody from my old salon, and I didn't headhunt because I'm uncomfortable with that. I've had actually people walk into the salon that I was working in and start to get their nails done and then start talking to you about working in their salon, and I don't agree with that. I don't.
Wow. That's gutsy, man.
Yeah. But
Jeez.
Basically, I let people know I was opening my own salon, and they came to me. So I was very fortunate that the girls from my old salon, I thought they were coming right away, but they waited a little bit too.
Wait a little bit, being how long?
So they all came to me and were like, "Oh, we want to go over." I opened my salon, and they didn't come over right away. Like they got scared to leave this.
Yeah.
All good.
Sure,
all
that
good.
makes sense.
But so I was fortunate. People came that I was used to working with. I knew they were good nail techs. I knew the personalities, but eventually people leave, move, whatever.
And you've got to bring on new people.
And then you have to be. And so I think the number one mistake that I made was just getting anybody in because they could afford the booth rent.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. So you were just like, good. Yeah. Nails. Perfect. Can you afford it? Good. You have a clientele. You're in.
Yeah.
And what happened? Like, why was that? Why? I mean, just hearing it doesn't sound, I know why it's bad, but just hearing it, anybody would think, well, they can afford it. Like, that's the most important thing. You got to cover your, your rent and all that stuff. So
just wasn't a good fit. She didn't get along with the other girls. She talked about inappropriate things.
Yeah.
Made clients feel uncomfortable, and then she just completely started flaking and not showing up for her clients. Now you think that's not a big deal because it's her own business,
right? I was just going to say that,
but it is a big deal because I'm dealing with it when their clients walk in. So,
and then the name of the salon gets hit,
and people don't. This is the thing people don't go, oh, so and so at Bliss, because that was the salon's name. She no-showed me or she did a horrible job. It's Bliss did a horrible job.
Right.
So you have to start thinking about that.
Right.
So that was a problem for me.
So how did you deal with it? We're getting kind of into I brought somebody on for the wrong reason. It was an error. How'd you deal with it?
Fired her.
Okay.
I guess, are you firing when they're a booth renter? She no longer had a space in my salon.
Technically it's not firing. It's you're stopping the business arrangement, right? As renting a space to her.
Give me your key back, basically.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, and I did do that. I had a discussion with her at first.
Yeah.
And it didn't work. I mean, immediately, I think the very next day, she no-showed a client. Like so there was no, at that point I was done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was just, it's time to go. It didn't matter that that space was going to be open. I'll find someone else, or I'll leave it open and it will be, I really like to walk into where I work and have a relaxed environment. For the most part, people have bad days, but if you have to walk in and you're like
tense,
what is she going to do today?
Of course,
then that's no fun for any of the girls. And and it's not just you're making yourself miserable; you are making all the other people that work in there miserable.
Yeah,
so.
it's uncomfortable, very much. I had a lesson. I was moving from one location from an apartment into my home. This was like 10 years ago. And just as I thought, I'll just rent it out in that transition for like a year, because I was in this transition. And I did the exact same thing. I rented it out to somebody because they came with good financials and they were like, I can pay this. Here's your deposit. And I was like, sweet. Yeah. I didn't even like take the time to really like interview the person or get to know them. And that was the biggest nightmare I've ever had in my life. I had somebody that was like, it was out of control.
Right.
It was a nightmare situation with somebody renting. It took, it was scary.
Yeah.
I mean, it took, 3-4 months to get this person out.
Movies like what you dealt with.
Oh, that's exactly what it was. It was like, it was insane.
You had a Fatal Attraction rental.
Yeah, with the rental property, not with me.
No,
but it was.
I can't think of the show that has the renters, but there's something combo. You had a combo.
I had a combo. I think this is a great when somebody is looking to bring somebody into their world, right?
Yeah.
When you're looking to bring, a lot of people would think, can they pay their bills? Can they do the job? Can they do the nails? Do they have a clientele? Am I going to have to worry financially? And those are things that you should think about, but it's not the most important thing.
Well, and here's the other mistake I failed to mention that I made with her, is I already knew her.
Oh.
I already knew that she had some issues. And when I hired her, I believed her. I ignored the past, and I believed that she had changed.
But this is really good, Trace, because it's very interesting because you were just starting out in this world, right? There's no way you could have known what is the most important thing with bringing somebody into your business and your world, your culture, right? Yeah. And when you have, you learn very quick, oh my God, this matters. It's so important. That is by far the most important thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Is that the vibe. And in your situation, if somebody's coming in and just she's making clients feel uncomfortable. I mean, we don't have clients that come here, which is good. It's a lot of our business is kind of
shipping.
Yeah, exactly. We do this. Obviously tons of education, develop products. So the outside world doesn't see things that happen on the inside. When you're retail, yeah, seriously. Oh my God. But in a salon world, you're the consumers, like a restaurant, right? Yeah. Consumers are going to see, they're going to feel it. They're going to walk into your business. They're going to feel it. Yeah.
And as an owner, I will say that sometimes we don't like the uncomfortable feeling of addressing a situation.
Yeah.
I kind of think about this. The other day, Stan and I went to a restaurant. Outside seating's allowed right now.
Yep.
And so we're sitting outside, and there's this guy that comes in, and you could tell he's the local. You could tell when he walked in, everybody was
hey, woo, pointing and snapping his fingers.
Probably a little tipsy, and you could tell everybody just cringed, that the staff.
Yeah.
And he was so annoying and did not know what personal space was, especially when it came to my husband, which is surprising because my husband's just
he's a big guy.
He's a big guy, and I'm just
stop, bro.
But you could tell they were all uncomfortable, knew we were all annoyed, but wouldn't have that conversation.
Yeah.
And so for me, I'm not going to go back there because of
they didn't deal with it.
They didn't deal with it. So same with me. It was a hard conversation to have, and you know, because I was just new to this part of booth renting and stuff, and I could have lost my other 3 girls because of it, because they were tired of dealing with it.
Of course, and it is not easy for someone to have those conversations, especially in that restaurant environment, right? Like where you're going to make a scene. Like a scene is about to go down.
Yeah.
You have, like, the manager should have come over and said, escorted the guy, hey, Greg.
It was Greg.
Listen, buddy, you've got to, you got to go.
Yeah.
You're making some of the, I mean, that's tough because then everybody's going to be like, whoa. They're going to be looking at the situation and but you got to do it.
You cannot pray for it to go away.
No, you cannot. Exactly. But the thing is that if they did that, even if there was a little bit of a scene, hey, they try to get this guy out of there, and then potentially
go back, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. You would probably go back to the location. Yeah. So what should you look for? Okay, let's go down the list real quick. Yes, clientele, sure. Their ability to do good nails. Yes, all those things you should check off, right? Are they responsible financially? Are they going to be able to pay their rent? All that stuff. Yes, that stuff is all good. In my opinion, it's really the story that you gave. The most important thing is when this person comes into my salon, in my world, are they going to vibe with the group? Are they going to get along? Are they going to be able to work? Are we going to be able to work together as a team? Is it going to be uncomfortable situation? Like, that situation. It's like when you walk into your salon, you're like, oh God, I'm going to walk on eggshells, and everybody's dealt with it. It's an awful, awful situation, especially in a salon, there's nowhere to hide. It's like you're in a small space. You got to deal with that. Yeah. You have to take that into consideration. And ultimately, I think this is the biggest point to make. You may not get it right. Okay? You're going to misjudge somebody. You're going to bring them in. The important thing is when you do recognize it, don't do what the restaurant did and not deal. You've got to deal with the situation, have conversations, and then ultimately you got to deal with it however you got to deal with it. That's the only way that people are going to be trusting in your business. Yep. You're going to feel good about your business. And like, honestly, that for me that's it. Yeah. Like, that's the biggest point.
I think I agree. Like, and sometimes you are, when you're looking for people, I would, if the salon was busy and we could at the time, I would take someone that didn't have clientele. But I did learn right away that it was more important to have someone that was going to complement the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Versus just a warm body.
Yeah, no, it's better to like train someone and help them and develop the skills if they have, like, if the vibe is right, if the personality is right for your salon. That is way, way more important, because you can't fix personality. You can fix somebody who's maybe doesn't have their electric filing down or their speed. You can help them in that area. You can't fix personality.
You can teach nails. You can't teach personality.
Impossible. Yeah. Impossible. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts on this. Have you dealt with a situation? And put in some of the questions that you've asked to help. Again, you're probably not going to get it right every time. The important thing is to act on it once you do notice that it's wrong. But let us know your thoughts. Tracey, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Biz Talk.